A lot of people wonder how, like, the people closest to me reacted when I came out as trans. First, let me just preface this by saying my family stopped being shocked by anything I do at about 8.5 years old. I think most people are probably curious about my son. My son was like 3 when I started my transition. He does not remember me before. I didn't tell him that I was transitioning right away just because he was so young and I didn't know how to address it. When I did tell him, he was a little bit older, but he was not speaking like verbally that much then. So when he said a phrase, it was like, oh my God. And when I told him about, me being transgender, he said, cool, I want pizza. So that was that. When I told my dad, he was actually really supportive, which I was surprised because my father's Irish Catholic. He did have a little trouble with it when it came to me being on hormones and having surgery. However, once he realized I didn't mind him talking about women and hemorrhoids, he was Gucci. My mother, religious like my father, so at first it was a little rocky when it comes to like surgery and stuff. But then I taught myself a lot about plumbing, not that you have to be a man to learn about plumbing. But at that point, I was the man of the house. I mean, my son was only 3 and my dad was, down the street. So once I installed the toilet, it was like, who gives a shit, you know what I mean? And she complimented my stash at the time. My husband, I'm sure a lot of people, especially if they just started following me, they're like, how did he react? My husband met me as I am now. Actually, I was hairier. I had a beard. Like, I was even more masculine than I am now. Sometimes you will see pictures of me and my husband together when I'm presenting as a woman. That is because he actually did stay with me when my liver started to fail on testosterone and I ended up detransitioning for like a month and a half. That's as long as I lasted. Like right here. A lot of times people will presume that my husband was with me beforehand and they'll be like, that poor man. What an angel for staying with you. Nah, I mean, I love him, God bless, But I'll tell you what was going through his head when I retransitioned back to male. Thank God, because that dude is gay as hell. He likes men, baby.